T.O. Blaze.
Hey there, this is Tio bringing another Kerbal Space Program video. The recent Artemis mission had me inspired and interested in playing Kerbal Space Program. Like so many veteran players, I returned to the game, and I wanted to make a free return trajectory type video, and decided that the best reason to do this, other than just wanting to do something inspired by Artemis, is if you're playing in the career mode and you get to the mission where you need to explore the Mun. You got to do a flyby of the Mun. So that's what I did. I created a career mode, and the first few missions off camera, and then I recorded my attempt at the free return trajectory. So some things you need to keep in mind in order to attempt a mission like this. Your facilities need to be upgraded, at least a couple of them specifically. I'd played a whole playthrough mission and got to this point, upgraded the wrong facilities, and regretted it. So I ended up having to recreate the entire career mode because my credits had been wasted. So the facilities you need to upgrade, and if you might have caught it while I was doing it on screen a moment ago, it's going to be the I believe the tracking station and the mission control facility. So both of those upgrades allow you to create maneuver nodes when you're in space, which is important for seeing your trajectory. So I can fly without maneuver nodes pretty well, especially going to the Mun. I actually did it in my previous playthrough just because I was halfway through the video and kind of wanted to finish the mission. But in order to see the maneuver nodes, see your trajectory, and be able to properly plan a free return, you need to upgrade those two facilities. So with the credits that you get at this point in the career mode, you're not going to be able to afford the VAB upgrade, but you will be able to afford the launch pad, which is important for vehicle weight, the tracking center, and the mission control. So those three upgrades, as well as obviously the tech tree. So I decided to minimize the tech that I was using. I didn't kind of go out there. You see me, I forgot to upgrade those facilities earlier, so I'm doing it there. So I'm using the Terrier engine, was like the most advanced piece of tech on this whole vehicle, and I'm only barely into the fourth layer of the tech tree, because that's pretty much usually where you would be at this point in the career mode anyway, and I wanted it to be somewhat realistic. So the footage is a little quick, kind of getting up into orbit, and this is where the interesting part of the video will start. So once I'm circularized, as you can see, this stage is going to have a lot of fuel left over once I'm circular. That was kind of intentional because, again, with my first attempt at this, it didn't go as planned and ended up having to do some maneuvers. So with that Terrier engine, I've got a lot of extra fuel in this upper stage, and I'm going to do my maneuver planning now. And if it doesn't go well, then I've got some fuel to make a correction. But so here you see I made a maneuver node, and I'm kind of eyeballing where the maneuver should take place. I can drag the node up and down the orbit around Kerbin, and it can start a little later or a little sooner depending on how I want it to look. So right now I'm kind of intersecting the path of the Mun, and there you see I will actually get an intercept. So now I'm just going to fine tune the actual maneuver node and see what effects that maneuver is going to have on my ultimate trajectory. So right now it's kind of giving me a gravity assist, and it's pushing my orbit a little further out because I'm coming around the wrong side of the Mun. If I want a gravity break, which is what a free return trajectory would look like, I need a pass in the front of the Mun, and then when I hook around it, it'll slow me down in relation to Kerbin. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of playing with the maneuver node, changing the point of the burn, and then increasing and reducing my my burn in the prograde or retrograde direction. That's pretty much the only directions I like to use when making maneuvers like this. That's the most efficient. So anyway, I'm still coming up behind the Mun, which is not ideal. So I'm kind of playing with the orbit, and I found a spot now where I can increase my burn enough, and it's actually going to push me to the front of the Mun, which is where I want to be. So now I'm really just paying attention to my periapsis after my Mun encounter. So the periapsis is really low down there. You can barely see it. The mouse is kind of covering it. That's what my periapsis will be after the maneuver, if the maneuver is executed perfectly. So I need to burn 880.3 meters per second exactly while pointed at that maneuver node and that would put me on a free return trajectory. So this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I've obviously planned some pretty intricate maneuvers, trying to thread the needle, do something very specific, but this is kind of unique. And there you see the fly by the mun is really, really low. If I execute this maneuver perfectly, it was something like 11,000 meters from the surface of the mun. And not even the surface, the average surface. So like if there's a mountain or a canyon there, that could be a problem, but 7,000 is pretty high, so should be a safe flyby of the mun. And there you see them time warped, and I've started my burn. It's a long burn. Again, that Terrier engine's very efficient, but it has a very low thrust to weight ratio, so the burn's going to take a little longer. And thankfully, I'm speeding up the time, and you guys won't have to wait. But my plan is to get most of the way through the burn at full throttle, and then I'm gonna throttle down and really try to feather in my final trajectory. Probably will also cancel the maneuver node when it gets to the very end, and then I can just watch the periapsis. And yep, there you see. I'm gonna get into the end. So now I'm probably gonna cancel the maneuver node, and I'm only interested in where the periapsis is ultimately gonna be. And there, periapsis is coming in, nice and low. And where we're at. Ooh, there we go, into the atmosphere, 20,000 meters, which is pretty nice. 30's a good target usually, a safe target, but 20 probably will do just fine. Any lower than that, and probably coming in too shallow. Any higher than that, you may not fully get captured by Kerbin if you don't lose enough velocity in the atmosphere. So doing a little bit of science on the way to the mun. Or there you see I'm just clearing out my my achievements. And there's my flyby. I didn't burn my maneuver quite right. So instead of being 11,000 meters, I dipped way down under 7,000 meters. But again, plenty enough altitude not to hit anything on the mun. Didn't do any maneuvers, and now I'm back at Kerbin. So there's my free return trajectory. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Might be putting some more content out there. Like I said, I'm kind of inspired by the Artemis missions and interested in KSP. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you again very soon.